Tom Cousins not having much luck with his break in the last match.
Oh.
Phil Harrison not having much luck in the beginning of this one.
In fairness, that was just a bad hit. At least Tom was sort of hitting him a bit better. Phil hit them bad and went straight on off, so I don't know if he's left anything easy, but this yellow and red in the bottom cushion needs a bit of attention.
Pretty difficult first round draw this for Callum. Phil starts the season ranked 5, provisionally up to 4 in the rankings based on just the year's points he had last year, so right in the top echelons of the game at the moment.
Yeah, well, in fairness, he has been for this past 20 years. He's just a rock solid player, Phil. He's just one of those players you really have to play at the top of your game to beat him. Anything less is not going to do against Phil. He's just so solid all round. I think Callum wanted to be straight in that, just to top it through, to take the yellow in the opposite pocket, but I don't know if he can play it with a running side now to sort of pinch a wee bit, get the angle, or he might have to run into it. And he's played on it. This is horrible now, because he's hitting the red and the white might go on off, and it's, I don't know if he can pot the yellow and avoid the red.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to control the keyboard. If he gets too much of the red, it's going to be squirting, as you say, towards that corner pocket. Not necessarily going to go in, but if he gets too full of contact, he's not going to know where it's going to end up.
Yeah, the other problem is he might just flick it, and if it comes out 2 or 3 inches, then it's covering the yellow beside the 8 ball, so he has to be very careful here. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. It was the shot before, not to get straight on his ball to the corner, that done him there, really.
Often the way, these things just accumulate over time. Forced to play that shot because that was the only real way of getting on that ball, but not the result he wanted. And obviously with the benefit of ball in hand, Phil can play this combination shot from a position where you can feel very assured of getting it.
Is it a combination, or is there room for the red and past it? It looks like the yellow's sitting out on the knuckle a bit for a combination.
Yeah, maybe.
Might be alright. He's definitely playing the combination. Oh, it just wasn't as easy that as it looked.
No, you could see there was an air of hesitation before he played that, but I think he figured that he had to go for it. I mean, he, in different circumstances could have deliberately played a turnover shot, but he was in such a good position and it wasn't easy to leave it safe. And this is the worst outcome.
Yeah, Callum will be over the moon. He's thinking he's 1-0 down, and instead he's roll-ins for 1-0 up.
And having hyped Phil up, his first 2 shots at the table, the first one went in off, the second one, but with ball in hand, did not yield a good result.
Callum, get into that one. Just needs to be careful here. That red in the middle of the table's playing big. Oh, he was able just to drop it in. Well done.
Bit more angle than he wanted, but managed to hold for the 8 ball.
He just knows every shot and how to play it. He's just a great player.
And that focus has been useful. I mean, there's obviously, it's so hard when you are good at multiple cue sports. There's so much temptation to try other things, but it means Phil has been able to just focus and not distract himself.
Yeah, but well, most of all the top players has tried some other sort of cue sport. Even a lot of them's at the Chinese 8 ball now too. But Phil hasn't really deviated away from what he knows best. Just.
It's perfectly built for this game, really. He just has a very straightforward style, more so than pretty much any of the top players. He just makes the game look easy, although you feel it's just been an easy finish, but it's just the way he crafts it that makes it look easy.
Yeah, and even tactically, he's very aware. He knows all the shots. He's clever. He's just an all-round pool player. This could take a bit of sorting out this game, because it's It's a horrible layout, no matter what way you look at it. Will Callum be tempted here to have a poke at one of these long reds?
It's difficult when you're playing someone like Phil because you don't want to give him too many chances, but at the same time, just such a good tactical player that if you go for something silly, you know he's going to grind his way into the frame.
Callum sticking with him here. He's not gonna hand it to him.
So he hasn't got opening shots on both colours, but still not an appealing position at the top of the table.
No, this could take 5 or 10 minutes to sort out, really, because I can't see either of the two of these players pushing the boat out.
What's the thinking here? Take a colour and then play a safety, or just continue the containing?
I can't really see how you can get a big advantage, you know, taking a colour. He's on yellows now, but how's he going to get an advantage? Is he going to play the plant yellow onto the red into the middle and just... Yeah.
And that tells you how difficult the finish is, because to hand over the table giving your opponent a clear shot at anything at this level is normally unwise. Figuring that it doesn't really matter, Callum can obviously pot the red, but he's left him hampered over the 8 ball, so can't do a ton with it.
Yeah, I don't really see much value in Callum even potting this.
He doesn't see the value either. Of the crop of young rising star players in the game, Callum's in his 2nd season as a pro. He's definitely one of the ones with a better tactical game. It quite often tends to be the cliche that the younger players coming through are great at potting and it takes them a few years to learn the tactics, but Callum right from the start has had a very solid all-round game.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that, you know, Callum's been around for a bit and he's played a lot of world rules. So obviously, you know, the younger players wouldn't really have played too much world rules, which was, you know, probably 50% tactics and 50% potting. So I think that's probably the difference. Callum did actually get to play a lot of the world rules, so he'll know his way about the table too. The younger ones, you know, that sort of, it's just from they've come into the game, it's just been, you know, more or less all break clear. So they haven't really learned the tactical side of it.
Not very often you see long tactical frames with this rule set, but this has just finished a bit awkward again. The fact this is early on in the match means there isn't really anything to be gained from either player burning off time. It's just a question of getting into a position to win the frame. Sometimes if you see this kind of tactical frame when somebody already has a 3 or 4 frame lead, they're very happy to continue it.
Well, that's definitely up on the game up there now. That's sort of is through the gauntlet down. I think, you know, Callum's sort of nearly going to have to go here because the yellows all of a sudden are pretty good. No, Callum's sticking with it. He's holding on to what he's got here. Good shot he's played too. He's left Phil nothing. He's developed that ball, so yeah, it's a very clever shot from Callum.
Both aspects of that shot, in fact, because although it may have looked simple just bumping that red into the yellow, if you leave any distance between them, the yellow still pots, so you had to judge it absolutely right. Still got the ball tied up at the top of the table, as well as the one that's now tied up to the right of the cue ball.
Can they put this yellow in off the red? Free is bad one.
It's one of those situations where although it's messy, it's only one good shot away, particularly on yellows, from opening right up. The yellow that's on the break line on the left-hand side was just a bit further to the left. It would be an easier angle.
Oh, he panicked there. And now Callum has a massive advantage. If he can flick off one of these two and put that yellow over the hole, he's got control.
So just a bit of confusion as to what happened there. I think it did look visually like he played it well after the buzzer sounded. The referee's just coming in to look at a replay of that. I think Phil obviously got caught by surprise. There's quite a lot going on out there. There's arenas both sides of this. It's also a bit of an in-between at the moment where there are quite a few people in the room, but it's not a packed house, so it's one of those ones where it can suddenly go quiet and then you suddenly hear noises from the other tables. Situational awareness of which one relates to you is sometimes a bit lost when you're in the heat at the moment. I mean, it's actually a position where even with ball in hand, if it is a time foul, it's not terrible for Phil because he's jammed the ball over the top left-hand corner.
I think he's still going to have to play a tactical shot, but at least with ball in hand, he can, you know, place the cue ball exactly where he wants and play it well.
Yeah, rushed into it in the end. Obviously trying to play yellow off red, missed the red, and obviously didn't quite have the yellow on line anyway. I mean, it's easier to see the funny side at this point in the match. It's not a terrible position. It's not actually even guaranteed to be losing this frame, which you might often if you time foul. See close. The referee's just having another look at the replay. I mean, it looked like it was. Well, actually, when you see the numbers like that, it maybe wasn't quite so clear cut. When we were watching it, it felt like we heard the sound and then watched him play the shot. Phil just explaining to a friend in the crowd what's happened there.
Must be very close when they're. Oh, he panicked there. And now Callum has a massive advantage. If he can flick it.
It's the outcome. So the decision has been made. The referee is heading back into the arena. So it was called a foul in the end. So after that digression, back to the matter in hand, which for Callum still isn't completely straightforward. He's got the problem of the red at this end of the table and then the three reds in an awkward place up top. So doesn't look like he's going to be able to go for the attacking option.
He has sort of give Phil a wee half chance here. I mean, there is ways of getting into that top ball. Certainly the ball over the middle would be great. Closest to the red there would be a nice ball to get into.
We almost see Phil time foul turnaround. I think that would be a new record.
I think he's looking at the double here off the red. Now this is high tariff. I'm not sure about this one. This could all go wrong here and bring all the reds into play. Oh, some effort in fairness.
Wow, almost spotted the one in the left corner, almost spotted the one in the right corner.
I'll tell you what, he's had a good result there because he's brought his yellows into play and left the reds pretty bad. Oh, Callum's got the snooker here behind this red.
been an unusual start to the match. 12 minutes played already, still only the single frame on the board.
Oh, that's a good shot there. A good shot. He had to sort of flick that one out there just to cover that second yellow. But he's going to have to fire at these, Phil, I think. But the chances of these coming out good, the way he's hitting them, is nearly zero.
So digging into the cue ball, can he get over there? Well, for a moment that looked like it was going to turn out okay.
Yeah, cause he couldn't have got obviously couldn't have got them all out. But if he'd got that one out by an angle, I think that was his only chance of actually getting the finish. But yeah, he's in big trouble now.
Yeah, he's got a real problem here. May well end up dislodging the reds as well, depending on how he plays this. Can he play it slow enough to leave them there?
I think that's really all I could do, but he's massive second favourite in this game.
Well, especially the way Callum's played, he's looked very willing to get involved in the safety, and he's played some clever shots already. Never seen a Pro Series match end 1-0 before. I don't think we're about to see it for the first time, but they've certainly made the most of the time allocation so far.
Well, it's not such a big frame for Callum, but it's actually a big frame for Phil now, because if they take another 5 or 10 minutes of the clock and Callum wins it, he's 2 frames up, and there's only 20 minutes on the clock. It's a big advantage.
Especially as Phil hasn't really settled down. He's a bit more composed in this tactical battle, but it's not been flawless stuff so far. It's not quite going to feel like he's in the match. Well, you can see from his body language there, felt that he'd either rolled off or he hadn't hit it, but he knew before it made contact that wasn't quite right.
I think it's just left plop ins here for Callum, but at least the only good thing about this is it's not going to take any more time of the clock. He's going to have plenty of time to get these 2 frames back.
It's always disappointing when you lose long tactical frames, because you feel a lot more invested than if your opponent just clears off the break, but ultimately it will only be 2-0 at worst. Callum's still got a little bit to do, but just drop this ball in the centre. It's a difficult positional shot. It's going to be passing the ball to the top left-hand corner. Just needs to get the white back out of that corner. So you can't get to it this shot, but just set up the right angle.
I thought he might have actually left that the last ball, them 2 at the top to the last 2, and played onto the black from that ball, because this could go wrong here if he doesn't catch it right. And he's left himself plenty of distance.
Normally a very steady potter, but when you've been involved in a long tactical frame, sometimes it can knock you out of your rhythm. Hasn't got to do too much with this, at least. Just focus on the pot.
Yes, good cues, Callum. You couldn't really see him missing that one.
It's been a very solid start from Callum.
Yeah, he hasn't really done much wrong, in fairness. He's just played that one loose shot where he went in off, but it was, like I said, it was the shot before. But he's certainly looked the better player of the 2 so far.
He was always going to be a prospect. It does leave something for everyone to play with. The guys that aren't maybe challenging for honours right at the top, but are still very good players, now can aim to win that Tier 2 title.
Oh, Phil's having a nightmare here. Look at these reds.
Yeah, it didn't look like he hit the break great, but the split is absolutely perfect apart from not potting one.
I think that's always been Phil's sort of weakest link. I can't really talk because I've been the same, but I think out of all the top players, Phil wouldn't be one that you would say would have a great break as such, but but again, it goes to show you how good he is when he's done so well without actually, having a Tom Cousins, Jack William break.
Yeah, it's always the kind of barroom chat, isn't it? If you could take the best bit from a few players and put together your perfect player, you definitely have plenty of components of Phil Harrison in there, but as you say, not the break. I mean, this is just such a lovely layout for Callum. You can put them better with your hand.
Yeah, I think take the one nearest the pocket, go up for his top two, work back down again.
Yeah, the top two a little way away, so ideally wants to clear those early-ish.
I don't really see. Everybody sees it different, but this wouldn't be for me.
No, it wasn't the instinctive way of playing that. Now he's eyeing up whether he wants to take the one along to the top left.
I think he's got to play it now then. He's looking at.
If he takes the one to the bottom right, you wonder why he didn't play that the previous shot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's sort of overthinking it a wee bit here. Yeah, he is taking this one now. He's gone about these definitely a different way to I'm seeing them.
Yeah, and even that shot, it was trying to play high above the break line so you could put the ball to the top left and then drift over for the other one to the same pocket.
Yeah, when you were going up the table for them two, you were always going to play onto the one to the left-hand pocket first. Because it was far easier to get on the other one. Now I think he has to screw around the two cushions here. And he's just alright, but that could have went so badly wrong there. The other way it couldn't have went wrong. I'm surprised at his shot selection here the whole way through this.
That's not something you generally say about him as well.
No, he's usually pretty clever at the layouts. But again, he's just... Now he's having to play a real tough shot to get back onto his last ball, to get an angle, to get on the 8 ball. I just think he's made far more out of this clearance than what it was.
Looked like it was going to be an elementary finish, giving everyone something to wonder about. This is going to be the most difficult shot he's had to play so far, though. He's got to play a proper positional shot.
Can I cut this in and swing around off the 3 cushions, or is he just a double? It's hard to know how thin this is.
Yeah, either way, he didn't want to be leaving this kind of shot until last. Well, he was able to cut it in.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but he's still got a problem here. This looks very enough. I don't see how he's gonna. Can he dig into it enough to kill the cue ball? Oh.
Wow. That frame had everything going on at the end.
Cut break for Callum. It's no good.
No, it's no good at all. The white was out of control there.
These reds look lovely too. Yeah, I think the red, even the red down beside the yellows, I think it goes into this bottom corner.
And this is surely the kind of chance that Phil needed.
Yeah, and this is where Phil's the last player in the world you'd expect not to get these. He's taking the yellows. The red mustn't go. Surely he would be taking the reds. Well, I'm amazed that the only way you can take yellows there if that red doesn't go, but I thought the angle I looked at it, I thought it did go.
Just run forward a bit further than he wanted. The fact that he's shaking his head doesn't always tell you the full story, because he's rather inclined to do that even if he's in prime position. He can still cannon in to the yellows on the side, but I think he's now worried he's going to not quite get out the one that he wanted to. In fact, can he get through? Well, he could get through and pot it. So in fact, that's worked out well because he can now regroup, come back and leave the angle again on the yellow to the bottom left to Callum the 2 out from the cushion. I think he's just okay this side. Almost run too far.
He needs to just avoid this red. If he contacts this red, it could do damage. He's played it reasonably well, but still a lot of work to do.
Opted for precision rather than power there. If the yellow just pops out a bit further, this could have been a simple finish, but even though it's not completely covered by the red, it's a bit inaccessible where it is. And the only real way he's going to get on the yellow on the left-hand side cushion is from the one in the middle, so...
Just screwing onto it. Yeah, he's played a very, very good shot there. Yeah. I think you can just kick the yellow down the cushion a wee bit.
Yeah, he's left himself quite a good angle here.
Yeah, he's perfect. I think you can just get the cue ball enough to stun it.
And that's his game in a nutshell, that kind of precision there. That cannon you could have played a lot harder, but opted for absolute control.
Yeah, you see a lot of the top players that would kick in the balls and not have as much control. Phil's very, very controlled. Everything he does is, you know, he's not reliant on luck in any way.
Well, does get his first frame on the board.
Oh no, he's done the exact same thing.
Well, to do it once you can say is maybe a bit unlucky, but to do it twice, I mean, neither occasion has the ball been kicked in, he has just driven it straight to the centre pocket. At the top level, players are quite unforgiving in their own analysis of that kind of shot. That really is just a mistake where you haven't been kicked by any other balls. It's so frustrating when you do that, having just won the frame. He sort of clawed himself back into it, albeit still a long way behind, and then just immediately turns the table over.
I think he can stick the white right in behind that yellow. Yeah, is he looking at it there? He's just mind-setting reds, but surely if he puts that yellow, look at the corner pocket. I don't like that at all. He could have putted that yellow down into this bottom corner, and the yellows were all sitting automatic. He's left himself a lot of work here now.
It's a game with a lot of subjectivity, particularly around decisions like what colour to choose, and that's kind of what makes it intriguing. But there have been a few moments in this match already where it feels like the players have gone for, let's say, an unusual choice of shots.
He's just got to drop this, top it through, and I don't know if that red doubles beside the yellow into the middle. That's all he's got, really. Unless he can drift up here and leave an angle to kick it out. Depends whether it doubles. If it doubles, he'll double it, but if it doesn't, he's got to leave a nice angle here to free it. But it was the first shot, you know, he should never have needed to be playing this shot.
It only really made sense to go for reds if he was absolutely sure of getting that one out off the first shot. Well, there is a finish here, but it's a high tariff one from where he is.
It really all depends if it doubles. If it doubles, I fancy him getting him, but if he's kicking into it, it's going to be very, very hard to fall onto it. Is he playing for the double now? Or has he played for the kick? It's hard to know.
Well, if he's played for the double, I think he's probably come a shade far. He's going to be very close to double kissing it if it even goes past the yellow.
His problem is he has to land on the other red, so he needs to sort of hit the other yellow full ball here. Oh, he's
played it
played
really
it
well.
well. He's played it well, but can I avoid these yellows here? Can I dig in enough to avoid the yellows?
Well, in fairness to him, he has judged that well, because that looked very tight when he first played it.
I couldn't avoid the yellows, but he's actually played a really good shot.
Yeah, I wasn't certain where that yellow was going, but just wanted to get the white to react and come back off it, which is done nicely. If he could get his hand on the table, this is 10 out of 10. Just made a tiny bit more difficult by the hampered queuing.
Yeah, he cues lovely, but...
Well, different break that time from Callum.
Yeah, they took a lot off that, but look where it's finished. It's just not happening here for either of them.
Well, you've got to say that's unlucky. He's hit this break so well, and it's got a nice split up until that white ends up resting against the red.
Oh, they're lovely, but it's just, I don't think he's got a pot.
There'll be a moment when he turned away from the table there, he'd have been sure that he was going to be left something fairly easy to start with.
Yeah, the minute one went in, you think, oh, well, I have a good chance here, but I don't know what I can do here. Can I even get a safety of any sort? Sure. He's actually played a decent shot here, but he hasn't left the double. Don't know if that yellow doubles. Yeah, he's played a clever shot there. At least he's give Phil some sort of work to do.
You'd have to say his tactical game has been excellent.
Yeah, he is. He's a clever player, Callum. He looks a wee bit silly at times. You know, he does look silly, but he'd be clever enough. That looked very pushy. I'm sure that was a push. The way the cue ball reacted there, it can't not be a push, because it sort of stopped and then it went through like a bit of foot. I would like to see that in replay. It just looked to me like it wasn't a clean contact.
Yeah, and from Phil's body language as well, it almost looked like he was sort of looking to the referee to say, is that okay?
I'm convinced that was a foul.
Extension called.
I mean, we should note in saying this, the way the rules...
We'll see here now. Look, watch the cue ball. It's hard to tell there.
Yeah, it's very borderline. I was going to say, the way the rule's written, I mean, Phil, everyone will say, is one of the most sporting guys out there. If he felt he'd definitely played a push shot, he would totally have called it on himself. So he obviously felt there was some ambiguity. When you see the slow motion replay, it doesn't look quite so bad, but it was sort of right on the edge.
Yeah, it was just when I seen it at the start, I thought, oh, that didn't look right at all, but...
And not for the first time in this match. Callum more than happy to get involved in a safety game.
Yeah, and he's got a big advantage in it too.
And the other factor, of course, now is that the time is starting to tick down. When they were playing that long safety battle early on, time wasn't really an issue, but 20 minutes on the match clock, if they were to spend 5 or 6 minutes about this frame and Callum was to win it, he'd hold a pretty useful lead without very much time left on the clock.
It's just all about keeping him off this bottom red, but it's going to be hard to do. He's going to have to give him some sort of a shot at it. Just going to push this yellow down as well, make it a wee bit harder again. Don't know what he done there, really.
No, I mean, from the face of it, it looks like he's thrown the gauntlet down, but must have had some tactical purpose in mind. I mean, obviously he figured that it didn't matter too much if Phil went for these, because you can see from his reaction he's not super enthusiastic. He's got 3 balls in open possible positions, but none connect brilliantly to getting into the difficult one.
Phil's going to have to go. I don't think there's any options.
Left an angle to screw directly into them. So you can just leave an angle on the last ball to the bottom right to play that shot. Oh, he has got the angle to go straight.
Yeah, it was a big ask. He's got it out, but he's left himself no shot at the. Unless he can drop that into the middle, but it looks tough.
Yeah, I don't see what choice he's got really. At least if he drops it in the middle, I think the white will naturally just be low on the black, so he can still get past it. I mean,
oh, he's must have been out.
That camera angle made it look so much easier than it was.
It did, in fairness, because you knew that was a very, very tough shot there.
It's amazing. If you watch from behind it, you're like, well, why on earth would he miss that? And it looked so open, but that was a nasty shot.
Callum's just going to bury him in behind this. Just better be careful here with the double kiss. Yeah, he's played it well. Everyone's against Phil now because the time's ticking down, and if he goes 5-1 down, and there's probably only going to be maybe 14, 13 minutes when this is over.
Not too many great outcomes from this escape either. I mean, if he pots the ball over the pocket, I guess he might end up on the other one.
He just has to drop onto it. That's really all he could do. He couldn't do anything more with that.
Played it in a sensible way. There was a chance if he caught it thin, it could have gone in. If not, he was hoping just to keep it near the pocket and keep some traffic for Callum to deal with.
Callum would love to put that red over the hole. I think he'll drop the one in the middle now and leave himself the plump just to get rid of that red. And sort of just put the cue ball in behind the two yellows.
Yeah, he's got a nice angle to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think if he drops it, just leaves the cue ball in the cushion, I think he's perfect. Yeah, and he can just hold the cue ball tight behind the yellows.
Yeah, it's a nice angle. The key thing, obviously, when you're playing a shot like this, you've got to pot the ball, but then just make sure you bury the white. Those two yellows are just such a good spot for playing that shot.
Oh, I'm not sure I'd be happy with that. Don't know if he's tied them two yellows up, or maybe the bottom one might go.
And that's the issue, of course, with this rule set, because even if he extracts the foul, he's only going to have ball in hand with the single visit. So important to keep your balls in open play when you're in the position of having the numerical advantage.
Oh, he's left. His left is good. He can kick into them if he wants, or play onto the other one. It depends if that bottom yellow's going, really.
And you can't blame Phil for playing it like that, because on one hand it wasn't ideal to open up any of the yellows, but he really needed to give himself a chance of making that red. I hope something good happened.
Oh, that's not good. Don't know if he's got anything here. He's maybe got a double at best. Hold the cue ball behind the black.
It was the kind of cannon that it didn't really matter how much pace you got into it. The key thing was not to catch the yellow full, because there's always a risk of getting stuck to it.
I think he's just making sure the snooker here. He's played a clever shot because he's covered the far middle, so.
Yeah, and he's also done well. Keeping that yellow in open play over the middle pocket means that even if Phil just hits the red, he's going to leave a shot.
Yeah, he needs to pot this. Nothing else is any good. And what's also in Callum's favour is they're running more time off the clock. Oh my word.
Oh, what a shot from Phil Harrison.
My word. What a shot.
And this is what he can do to you. He was in all sorts of trouble there. You said it rightly. Anything other than potting that red wasn't going to be good enough. What a phenomenal shot he comes up with here.
I didn't realise he had left him enough of it. It was when you think about it, it was a careless shot at Callum's to leave him that. Yeah, made sure not to get near the middle, and he's got one. He controlled the cue ball a lot better there. Don't know if there's anything easy on either set.
Took a stroke of luck there. It was one ball cannoning another into that top pocket, but he'll take it however it comes.
Yeah, both sets have their problems. He's gone yellows by the looks of him.
Extension called.
Yeah, if he could get on that problem ball along the rail now, either to play a double on it or play on it down the rail. He's tried to kick it. He's got the double. If he gets rid of it, the yellows aren't bad down this end. I think he's got to play the double now. Well, I can't really see another yellow, so he's no option.
Yeah, it suddenly becomes a big shot because it's going to be hard to play it in such a way that he's not leaving a red if he misses it. He's going to have to play it in a positive way if he's going to.
He looked like he played to kick it, but kicking that ball was never guaranteed really to be on a yellow, whereas he's such a good doubler. I thought he might just have played out for the double on it, but not to the corner.
Yeah, I agree. It was. Well, that shows how good a doubler he is. He was close to that. Yeah, I agree. That ball to the centre was a much easier double than the one he had to play to the corner in the end.
These reds look tricky, but I think the biggest problem along that cushion, I think it goes in off the yellow into this bottom corner. So if he can just drop one of these reds into the middle, I think he's got a very good chance here. Oh, he hasn't went for it. He's covered up. He's really playing the tactical game here today, Callum.
Yeah, and Phil Harrison isn't the most obvious opponent for that because he's a pretty assured tactical player himself.
I don't think too many would have been holding back there. I think he sort of had to go there because, like I say, looking at that red, it definitely goes in off the yellow, and all the rest of them, had their pockets.
That said, you've got to respect the game plan he's stuck to here because he has got a 2-frame lead still, even though he won't quite understand why it's not 4 frames. And after losing that last frame, it's kind of an important one actually for Callum, because even though he holds that 2-frame lead, one more goes the wrong way, and then suddenly Phil's right back in the game.
But he sort of just handed the frame there. Can't see Phil missing these, and it'd have been better, I think, having a swing at them. As the shot he played, it was as easy to play the pot as it was to play the safety shot.
Generally, you'd always rather have your fate in your own hands.
Yeah, you don't want to be trying to earn a living hoping that Phil Harrison misses balls or misses finishes.
Got a bit tangled up with that yellow in a way he didn't necessarily want, but it's turned out okay in the end.
If he's straightish, he's alright on it, but if he's too much angle, he doesn't want the cue ball. He has to hold the cue ball down for these two to the middle. He's just held on enough, I think. Just has to stun off the two cushions here and back out, but he doesn't want to take his eye off the pot. Oh, he's went too far, has it? Just okay, but it's missable. If that goes another 2 inches, he's dead.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he really overhit the shot either. You saw he didn't need that much pace to get it to the pocket. It's just this table does play very quick. So he needs one more good shot.
Oh, he's played a great shot there.
Yeah, I mean, to cue it like that when they're coming at an acute angle, you've really got to find the middle of the pocket.
Yeah, he had to totally commit to that shot there. He couldn't just drop it in because the white wasn't getting on the 8 ball. Great shot.
Leading by 4 frames.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, not many players' favourite moments this. The 15-second shot clock in play now.
Has he got one? He's dry. He's dry.
Oh, and that's the worst possible scenario. It's quite a nice split. He's come up dry.
He was cut breaking before, wasn't he? And then he's changed to the front ball and he's hit them lovely, in fairness. No friends.
Extension call.
Yeah, got a really nice connection with that pack, but nothing down, so first go for Phil.
It's all about this first ball. It's probably going to be the yellows. Oh, he's just got it. Great
Yellow
pot.
balls in play.
And all of a sudden, we're looking at 4 each.
It was a brave first shot because
It was, wasn't it? I didn't actually know what he was going for there, but it only just went in, but it was a tough pot.
it was a tough pot, and it's also not the kind of shot that's really his bread and butter. He's more about the control than the big long shots. Knew that it gave him the best chance though. It's obviously a temptation for the Reds as well, but the two together putting him off that option.
Is he taking the plant now? This is Callum's only hope. No. Just give himself a wee bit more angle on it. It's missable. You fancy him getting it, but it's missable.
Yeah, it really is. The distance of the balls between each other and from the pocket
Yeah, good shot.
made to look very easy. That's one of the that's sort of classic Phil Harrison shot. You look at that and think, well, what was hard about that? He's just rolled the plant in, but the accuracy required.
Bit straight. He's just forcing this. Yeah, he's played it well.
So just got to do one more mid-distance shot. No problem at all there. And Phil Harrison, as he so often does, you think you've got him in trouble, and he comes straight back at you.
Yeah, there's not many players would be back at 4 each now. The way this match is gone.
There's just no really easy first round matches. Both of these two will have utmost respect for the other one. Well, that's better with the break.
Look at these Reds. The whole match just turned in that one shot, that treble. He timed them lovely. He didn't put a lot of pace into them, but he just timed them lovely.
And that's totally the right thing to do. If you don't naturally have a powerful break, there's no point in getting into the business of throwing your arm at it. You've just got to time it.
Red balls in play.
He just has to. This is the big shot here. He needs to fall straight on one of these two balls. He's not just straight, and this is a problem now. He had to be straight on one of the two of them.
Yeah, the head shake is justified this time because he's off angle and is also having to cue over the ball.
Oh, he's played it nice, but he's got a bigger problem now, maybe. I think he can just get around the two cushions. But he might hit the yellow that he's bridging over.
Yeah, it's a difficult shot.
Oh, he's played it lovely.
He's played that so well.
Yeah.
The problem with there was that the way the yellows were, you try to miss one, you get closer to the other one, so you had to find an absolutely perfect path.
He's took this well.
And suddenly it's not just that he's winning the frames, in the space of 3 or 4 frames he's gone from looking really out of sorts to looking bang in form.
Just amazing. Oh!
Right.
Just amazing how that one shot just turned that whole match.
Yeah, look at this. There's actually very little space to play with there.
Yeah, and he's bridging over the ball, he's cueing down. That's a great shot.
This is an important break now, though.
Oh no, it's amazing.
Falling out the ball.
And this is why, Paul, it's such a psychologically difficult game to play.
Completely amazing. No, he's left probably the easiest finish of the match. Oh.
Extension call.
That white just making a beeline for the corner pocket.
And as usual, he gets a ball. You know, see when you go in off, you always have a lovely layout. You always get a ball. It's just okay there. I thought they were running another inch or two. It might have been tied up.
Yeah, could have done without it going quite so far, but at least from his perspective it does pot still.
I think it might even pot into both pockets, which would help a lot. Oh, that only just went in there.
Well, for Callum sitting in his seat, there's a lot to be dwelling on right now. That's how he's in this position, and there's a glimmer there where he might have thought he'd get back to the table.
He still might. There's a wee bit of work to do here. That ball at the top of the table only really goes in the corner pocket or the middle if he gets round in behind, but he doesn't want to go in and round them yellows because anything can happen. He hasn't went near far enough. I think he was playing for it there. This is tough now.
Definitely going to be a Harrison special if he does get this clearance.
Can I screw around the two cushions and avoid the black? He can't avoid the black, so now he needs to force this. I don't even think he can force it. He's got no shot. I think he has to top it in and just leave himself a shot at the bottom corner here. Well, if he gets these, he'll definitely deserve it. He has to clip this right down the cushion. Surely that doesn't go to the middle, does it? No. No, he's looking up at the corner.
Wow, this is going to be a shot.
And the cue ball, where's this? Is the cue ball just coming back out again? No. Oh, what a shot.
What a shot from Phil Harrison.
I thought he had had it too thin, but he played it lovely.
He's played some great shots in the second half of this match.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. The proper score is 6-4, isn't it? Yeah, White. Oh, he's nudged it. It was going in there, I believe, and he's just nudged it away. Ah, Callum's just... Did you see this cue ball? It looked like it was going straight in, and then at the last second, just a wee nudge. Look. Oh dear. Cruel.
Yellow balls in
Wow,
play.
this has been quite some game we've witnessed here.
Callum will be, but just everything that could go wrong there has went wrong.
We shouldn't chalk this one up yet, but if Callum does go on to lose this match, there are times you lose a match and you feel like, well, you know, what could I do? The guy just cleared up a few times, but just such a strange match because he got himself into such a commanding position, and then suddenly from nowhere, Harrison's just turned up in amazing style.
Needs to play a shot here. Doesn't look like the yellow's good. The middle, they might have he's looking at it. Maybe it does. Maybe the top one goes in past there, right?
Yeah, it seems a strange way to play it if it doesn't. It does look very tight from that angle. Yeah, it must do from the way it's played there. It's not completely done though, because even if it does pot, he's got to mind how he cannons the second ball.
Yeah, maybe just flick it down far enough to...
Oh, he could get past it.
Oh,
what a shot that was.
some performance from Phil in the last 6 frames. There's not many players can do that, but he's done. Like, he's took out a few easy enough finishes, but some of them was brilliant too. Some performance, brilliant.
There was just nothing to believe that was going to be the case the way that match started. Had the 2 in-off breaks at the beginning. It just looked like it was in danger of being a fairly scrappy performance for a while, but great performance from Phil Harrison.